Bitcoin is now only days away from the legendary Golden Cross, which the last time it happened, Bitcoin rallied over 700% to the upside. Will Bitcoin continue bouncing off the 21-week and pump into the new week and completely reverse to new all-time highs? Or will this be used as the catalyst for a final massive shakeout first? And will a similar sell the news type event happen with ADA in just 3 days, like it did with Bitcoin when El Salvador legalized it earlier this week? And what is happening on the DXY right now is potentially the beginning of the final death blow for the dirty dollar. I'm your host, Chadley Cheek Buster. And as we are now just days away from two of the biggest events in crypto, from two of the top cryptos this year, absolutely gigantic things are on the way. That's right, both Bitcoin and Cardano have absolutely mind-numbing, very big, shocking things, both that will be coming to light just within the next few days. So what will that mean for the market moving forward after the crash that we witnessed just days ago? So you guys are new to the channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn this custom to these absolutely time-sensitive alerts. We have 5 days left for our 3 winners in ADA competition. And although there's over 336,000 entries, I believe there's about 6,000 or 7,000 unique entries. And as well, as of today, our TSC stake pool is now officially live with a 2% margin. There are instructions and just a little bit of detail on the website below. And without any further ado, let's dump in. Wow, so in just the next few days, we have so many things coming up, and I'm going to share my opinions on what I think the deal is with ADA's rollout here of smart contracts in a few days. I'm sure some of you have heard about some of the issues going on and what it means. And as well, we see so much shaping up for some of these other altcoins as well. I'm sure many of you are watching Solana. But not only that, Bitcoin's chart and many other things, I think, just have so many things going on we need to discuss. So to start off, I thought we would highlight this, an article posted a few hours ago saying that Bitcoin could eventually collapse by none other than a Swedish central banker. And without even clicking on the article here, you can see that he is comparing buying and selling Bitcoin to trading stamps, the little sticky pieces of paper. So I think that comparison alone gives us a nice little insight into the IQ of a central banker, and that leads us into this as well, guys. So pretty much the biggest opponents of Bitcoin right now, obviously, are central banks, people that have a lot to lose from cryptocurrency becoming successful. That's why, in the US, we saw, months ago, the SEC start attacking Ripple. Now, SEC is obviously coming after Coinbase a little bit, but I actually want to highlight a little bit about that. So if the SEC would give Coinbase full regulatory approval, Coinbase would be offering actual market interest rates in US dollars. And what can banks offer? Nothing. They can offer negative interest, okay? Which means if you think about your money for 5 seconds, you would then pull out your money from the banks and, invest in crypto or invest in Coinbase or move it out of the banks, basically, because the banks are not helping anyone financially. In fact, they're responsible for the pickle we're in now and the pickle we were in a decade ago as well. So with that being said, the bankers obviously do not want the fractional reserve system to cease to exist, which very likely would be the case if people actually start using crypto and crypto starts getting adopted and they start to realize our current system is absolute garbage and we need an alternative. And again, that is where cryptocurrency is set to come in here. So it's just very important we realize why they're opposed, and we should probably expect more attacks moving forward. This is basically the final step. I'm sure you've heard the analogy. First they laugh at you, then they do other stuff, and then they fight you, and then you win or something like that, right? So we're kind of on the last step here. It's really close to becoming mainstream, and I think a lot of people realize, wow, crypto is an amazing option. Why am I not doing this? With that being said, I want to talk a little bit about what is going on with ADA. So this is basically at the top of the crypto thread. You will not find it in the Cardano subreddit, but let's, first of all, before we jump into this, let's realize that no cryptocurrency is perfect. Obviously, Ethereum has some issues in terms of their gas fees as well, but this is very much so tied to the release of these smart contracts in just a few days. And is it possible that we will see Cardano take a little bit of a tumble? In fact, if we take a look at Cardano's chart, it's actually, not in the most bullish place anyway. It bounced off the 50-day moving average and got rejected off the 21-day. For example, if we go to Ethereum is actually currently holding above the 21-day. We're just right on the 21-day. And if we take a look, obviously, also at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is holding the 200-day, teeter-tottered off the 50, but it is well below the 21-day as well. And again, we're going to be getting into the golden cross with that in just a second here. But yeah, this is, I mean, if I read this to you guys on the video, everybody would click off immediately or just, be completely confused because it's kind of going over some of the intricacies of why this is an issue. And yeah, I don't fully understand it, which is exactly why I have 3 developers that worked with me in order to build our staking pool that we released today. My skills do not lie in programming and coding and things like that. So again, some of this also does go over my head, but the basic point here is that ADA will not have DeFi until they actually deploy a side chain, because they will not be able to do it on the main chain here, or at least in other solutions that has not yet been deployed, let alone tested, which they're saying. The problem lies in Cardano's UTXO architecture, and here it says the sidechain and decentralized solutions to this problem do exist, but none of them have been developed or tested. And apparently Sunday Swap claims to have a secret solution, but it's really not possible that their solution is decentralized, he goes on to say in this top post here. And so basically, what does all this mean? For the time being, Cardano will not have decentralized exchanges, and because of the community's refusal to acknowledge and even address this, some ADA users will not have an understanding of the vulnerabilities centralized exchanges represent, and potentially people could lose out on some of their ADA by dexes that pop up that are actually centralized and that could like exit scam or something like that. And basically the top comment here is I want to post explaining this post because you could read that a few dozen times and still be a little confused about it. But there's a nice comment I see down here about the only workaround exiting at the moment is to make the swaps off-chain and just put the results back in the Cardano network. With that being said, Charles Hoskinson does have a YouTube channel, the creator of ADA here, and he's gone into this topic. So it's not like something that I guess people will be blindsided by it, because again, most people don't have any interest in reading what I just kind of highlighted here. And if they even can read it, it's a little confusing to begin with. But I think right now it is a mix of healthy skepticism. There's some FUD thrown in there as well. And so at this time, is it possible that Cardano actually will initiate some sort of a downside move because of this rollout? And especially even if it rolled out perfectly, it's still very likely that we could see a dump, just because, I mean, El Salvador legalizing Bitcoin went insanely smooth from all accounts, yet that was the day we got a dump. Now, are they correlated? I personally think they're at least somewhat correlated, or at least the event of El Salvador legalizing Bitcoin was used as a way to manipulate the price. But either way, what I have here, this is just another thread about this. With this smart contracts, if it does end up being a fiasco for ADA, what is best to do? And again, the top comment here is saying, I'm hoping actually for a dip so that then they can reinvest and take profit in ADA. So again, let's say worst case scenario, let's say it is a little botched and it doesn't work out of the gate and there are issues. It's absolutely possible. And again, that's why we have a lot of people probably interested in things like Solana, which just went on an insane run, which is another coin that I've been holding. Whoever first brought that to my attention, thank goodness. And Algo, which just happened to be going insane yesterday. Solana's been going insane for a while. But for example here also, ETH is a fiasco all by itself with its outrageous gas fees. And it's still being used. So there are going to be solutions to this. Could it potentially be a bumpy ride for a little bit? I don't see why it could not be. It absolutely could be a bumpy ride. But at the end of the day, I think it's important for everybody invested to know what exactly is happening in a few days, that there potentially could be some problems. And, it's not the end of the world if there are problems. Every blockchain has had some problems and they can be fixed. We cannot expect cryptocurrency, which is so new in and of itself, to not have any issues right out of the gate, right? We're still in like the building stage of all cryptocurrencies. It's all still insanely new. So with that being said, there will always be issues. Will Cardano have issues? Very likely. Does Ethereum have issues? Absolutely. Are there going to be some issues that come up with Solana? I don't see why not. I think it's very likely as well. Oh, so if we jump into the TA for Bitcoin here, this video is already kind of long, but this is huge. So the DXY now is in danger of setting a bearish cross here. Last time we got a bearish cross, the DXY did dump down to this exact level where we got like a double bottom here. It happened from the very end of 2020 into about the end of May, beginning of June 2021. So it was about 6 months where we kind of found a double bottom here. And now, before both of those dumps, we had this cross with the 21 going below the 50-day moving average right here and right here, both of which afterwards there was a massive dump, and we're seeing that about to happen within a few days here as well for the DXY. So if that does happen, and we initiate a dump down to the same level where we have already done twice after both of these crosses, will that initiate a dump, down to this level? And if so, will this hold? Because if it does not hold, let's actually zoom out here and say why this is so significant. This was the bottom over the past year. This was the bottom back in 2018. And if we just go even further back, obviously this is a very important level. So if the DXY does dump here over the next week or so and does fail to hold this level like it has twice in the past 12 months, then that could get very bearish for the DXY, which could initiate massive bullishness for Bitcoin. So we just have to keep an eye on it there for the DXY. This is shaping up. It's going to be coming up over the next few days, and it very well could usher in some very big bullishness for Bitcoin. And with that being said, Bitcoin is only a few days away of getting the 50-day moving average to cross above the 200-day moving average. And you might think that happens pretty often. It doesn't. We had a bearish cross back here on June 19th. Okay, so that was actually a death cross. And the last time we had a golden cross, which is what we're potentially, what we're going to be seeing over the next few days, as long as Bitcoin doesn't dump insanely low, like $15,000 in the next day or something. Last time we saw this, we actually saw Bitcoin go on a 700+% run. And the last time we saw this was back in May of 2020, when it crossed, Bitcoin was under $10,000, and it crossed and it basically went straight up. That was the beginning of what I consider the first half of this bull cycle, and that will be coming up within the next few days. However, I'm personally for some reason, I just believe that we might actually get a downside move either before that or around that time, because again, I think a lot of people are probably expecting this to get very bullish, which I think it will. But I could see this not getting bullish right away, and people think, they get confused, they get tricked and think, wow, I thought we had a golden cross. I thought we were going to go up a lot, and a lot of people capitulate, and that might even send the prices further down a little bit. Ultimately, again, I think this will play out and to be very bullish, but I do think it's very likely that actually before that happens, things get a little dumpier, shake a lot of people out, shake a lot of people's faith in all of this and in Bitcoin before doing that. And with that being said, again, obviously we need a weekly close above this 21 week, which is basically above 42,000. We have about 3 days left before this new weekly candle. But other than that, these are absolutely critical moments because we have all of these things coming to light within the next few days. We have Bitcoin technically potentially initiating a very bullish signal. We have ADA unleashing these smart contracts, and will there be a lot of issues? Will this cause it to dump? As ADA's already kind of in a little bit of a dumpy position anyway, after having an insane run up. And as well, a more longer term outlook. Could the DXY initiate a massive dump and absolutely help propel Bitcoin into a very, very strong, massive second half of this bull cycle? As you're using your channel, make sure to like, subscribe, turn this to receive absolute time-sensitive alerts. Make sure to get your entries there as well for daily competition. You can check out tylerscrypto.com for some deals. And as well, if you're interested in staking, we have a 2% margin. The lower the margin, basically the more share of the rewards go to you. Definitely check out the website below. It is right at the top there. There's a nice little tutorial as well if you're confused, and just any other info that you might need. But without any further ado, that's it for me. Bye-bye.